That which was from the beginning, which we've heard, which we've seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, of the word of life. Word Out, a young people's church of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated, brings you God's word. Be blessed as you listen.
So this month, as a ministry, we are focusing our teachings on light of the world. Now, Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 to 16. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." Now, before you got here, he had already said he was the light of the world. John chapter 8, verse 12. He said, "I am the light of the world. And anyone who walk after me will not walk in darkness. Anyone who follow me will not walk in darkness, but we have the light of life." So, how do you have light? Number one, follow Jesus. Because the focus here is not Jesus. He said, while he's in this world, he's the light. But he's now saying he's living. You are now the light. So how do you get this light? He said, "He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life." What is the light of life? That's the light Jesus offered. Every other light anybody else offer is not the light of life. There is only one light that can give you life. Other light will not give you life. They will give you illumination to see in the night. They will make you happy. Is that not so? In fact, the one you usually call and say, "Up there, but there is light." It's not light. It is power. Supply. But there is a light that comes and gives you life. He said you can only get it when you follow me. How does a man follow? Luke 9:23. He said, "If anyone will follow me, let him deny himself." There is no way you can become the light of the world if you are still living your life. You must live a life of denying yourself. He said, let him deny himself. What does it mean to deny himself? To deny what you will have loved doing, as long as God doesn't want you to do it. In other words, God's become priority. God's options become priority. Let him deny himself. I know you love yellow people. Every time you see yellow sisters, wow, you are moved. You are excited. And you are saying, "God, is this the one?" When we say it's a dark-skinned lady, let him deny himself. It is your life of obedience that sustains your light. Life of obedience sustains the light. If you don't have light in yourself, you cannot light your world. So he said, "You are the light of the world." How? Because you have been following me. Look at the people he talked to. He was not talking to everybody. He was not talking to the crowd following him. He was not talking to the multitude. He was talking to who? The disciples. That was the Sermon on the Mount. Do you remember? If you read the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, and he climbed into the mountain, and the 12 came to meet him, and he began to teach them. The teaching of chapter 5, 6, and 7 is not to everybody. It's to his disciples. You cannot be the light by being a church goer. You cannot be the light by being a church worker. You can only be the light if you are a follower. People who are close disciples. And the first stage is what? Deny yourself. You call yourself a disciple of Jesus. What have you denied yourself? It will cost you something. Economics. The true cost of a thing is the opportunity cost. You said you are following God. Show me what it has cost you. Show me what it has cost you. And you are saying you are following God. Show me what it has. Ask somebody beside you, what has following Jesus cost you? The true cost of anything is the opportunity cost. The alternative for God. What have you forgone? You have not forgotten anything, and you are saying, no, you are not following yet. There are things you forgo. There are opportunities. Is somebody hearing me? There are opportunities that fitted you according to everybody. But as far as God is concerned, he said, don't take it. You deny yourself. That's how to follow. Every time you deny yourself, you increase your lumens of light. Every time you deny yourself, you increase your lumens of light. Your intensity of light begins to grow. Your light is dull, check your denying life. He said, let him deny himself and take up his cross. What is cross? So that is this slang people grow up with. Anything bad is ended up with the that's your cross. Oh. No. Jesus took his cross. The cross was the path of death for Jesus. In other words, let him pick up the path God has ordained for him. That is continuous. Then let him deny himself. Drop your own path. Pick up his own path for you. Drop your own choice. Pick up his choice for you. Drop your own opinion. Pick up his opinion for you. That is how to gain life. He said, anyone who walk after me, who follow me, we have lights. Drop your opinions. Pick up his opinions. At times, the opinion is not palatable. His choice for you is not palatable. But remember, we talked about it last month. We say everything God does is good, but it might not look like so in the beginning. While what is good is not necessarily God, whatever is God is good. All good and perfect gift comes from our Father, in whom there is no variableness. From him come all good things, but good things don't often appear as good. Even gold does not appear as gold. That's why they call it gold dust. Gold appear as dust, something that is irritating, something that you don't want to push away, but it's gold. And I tell people, even if you don't believe Bible, your English teacher told you in primary school, he said all that glitter is what? It's not good. But if you take what God brings you, the cross, if you take it and allow it to go through the process the way He wanted you to go through it, listen, the goodness will comfort. The goodness will comfort. Let him deny himself and take up his cross. When? Daily. Daily. In other words, you are not trying to pick up your cross yesterday or 2 years ago. In other words, it's a continuous thing. Every time you present another cross to you. Every time he presents his opinion to you. So following him is a continuous thing. The day you stop following, the day you stop picking up your cross on a daily basis, that is the day you stop receiving more light. Because you are dispensing light, you need more light to take in. The light you have now is not enough to light your world. The light you have presently is not enough to light your world. So as you have enough to light your world, you need to keep taking in more light. More light. And how do I take it? All I do is follow. I live under instruction. If you cannot live under instruction, you cannot be the light of the world. Jesus said, I am the light of the world was here. But in John chapter 5, verse 5, he said, I do not, verse 29, he said, I do not do anything except what I see my Father do. I do not see anything except what I'm hearing my Father say. I live only that life. Listen, you must live a life of obedience. Seeking light is not difficult. Be an obedient fellow. How obedient you are will determine the light you carry. So it's not about appearing before your word, it's about the light you carry. You are already before your word. When he's talking about your word, he talks about the people he has brought you across. The people he has brought you to. When he's talking, you are already before them. But they are not seeing anything because the lumens of your light is not enough. You want to increase your light? Increase your obedience life. Obedience in little matter. Young folks, when growing up in Christendom, one of the major things, the only thing they really focus on to obey God is life partner. But life partner is only one of the millions of decisions in your life. And they told us, if you miss it in life partner, you miss everything. Listen, you might get it right in life partner and still miss everything. But it's often emphasized at this stage because that is the priority of your heart. Or who doesn't want to marry here? Who doesn't want to marry here? Stand up boldly and say you don't want to marry. So all the brothers eyeing you will take their eyes off. What is the essence of admiring a reverend sister in making? Is it not a waste of time? Waste of admire. You know, so if that is the case, it is not only life partner you should be concerned about obedience. Obedience in all things, even what you call little things. In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus was making reference to the Pharisees. He said the Pharisees, they give tithes. Not only tithe of silver, they give tithes of cumin, of spice. In common English, they give tithe of curry and thyme. How do you give tithe of curry? Eh? Yes. How do you give tithe of curry? How do you give tithe of so you measure it 10%. You take it to the temple. You cook with 90%. These people were so meticulous. In other words, obedience in little things. The obedience you ignore is the light you are ignoring. He said, light of the world. Now he came and said, you are the light of that world, of your world. When we talk about world here, we are not talking of a planet. We are talking of people. People. You are the light of everybody God has brought you their way. So your word can be your school. Your word can be your workplace. Your word includes your neighborhood. Your word includes your business place where you sell things. Your word includes church here. Your word includes that Uber you are inside at that moment. When you are inside the Uber, that is your word. Your word means anybody you encounter, they are part of your word. Word is people, not a place. When you're talking about a place, you talk about earth. When you're talking about people, you talk about word. Just like when you are talking about country, you are talking about a place. When you're talking about nation, you're talking about the people in that place. So when you're talking about the world, the people on this planet, not the planet itself. You are their light. So if you say you are the light, that means they are in darkness. Anyone not in light is in darkness. So when you say you are the light, it means bring light there. Light is irrelevant if there is already light. The relevance of light is that it brought something different to a dark world. Verse 16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. How do I display my light? I've told you how you gain light. Is that not so? How do I display my light? By good works. You don't gain light by what you think. You don't give us light by what you think. You give us light by what you do. Shining forth is action. It's not an intention. It's what you do, not what you are thinking or what you are wishing. It's not your fantasy. It is what you carry out. So some of you have a lot of illumination inside of you, but you never converted them to light because you refuse to do them. As long as it is inside of you, it doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit your world. How to benefit your world with your life is to do something with all your good intentions. He said, by your good works. So Jesus to display life by doing good works. Acts chapter 10 verse 13. He said, how God anointed Jesus Christ of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and power. He went about doing what? Doing good. Not thinking good. Not intending good. Not planning good. He was doing it. Don't be a planner of good without doing it. Actions speak louder than your intention. I don't know what your intentions is. It is when you act that I can read you. You might have good intentions. If you do nothing, I do not know you have good intentions. It is your words and your actions that betray your thoughts. I don't have thinkometer to read what you are thinking. Except at times the Spirit works. Do you get that? And reveal the heart of men. But that's not the way to live in my life. You shouldn't wait for people to be decoding your life by spiritual means. He said, by your good works. What kind of work are you doing? Good works. Good works. That is the light. So wherever we see good work, is light. I will give you examples. Which kind of good work do you call light? Which kind of good work do you call light? Or what kind of work do you say is a good work that we can refer to as light? Light take responsibility for their words. When you bring light into a dark environment, light assumes responsibility. It is my job to light this place. It doesn't use the darkness around it as an excuse not to light. It doesn't use as an excuse. After Jesus entered Jerusalem on the court, his next point of call was the temple. And he got to the temple and he saw people trading, selling, exchanging money. Do you get it? Buying and selling. They turned the place to Jerusalem Stock Exchange. And the Bible said, it took whip, it took everything, scattered their goods, and drove them out, and said, my house shall be called the house of prayer, not the den of robbers. He was the light. He saw darkness. He didn't get to the temple and say, hey, this is what they are doing, and kept quiet. Listen, light does not keep quiet in the midst of darkness. You don't see your hostel mates living Aristo life, in other words, campus position, and then you are quiet. You say, as long as they are not disturbing me, I'm not disturbing them. You are not light. Light take responsibility. Light is daring. It steps into darkness and make an announcement by his action. This is wrong. Jesus stepped there and took it. This is not supposed to be. Light doesn't only stay away or stand different from darkness. It confronts darkness. Question number 1 point. Light takes responsibility. If you are the light of your world, take responsibility for the darkness in your world. How do you take responsibility? Take responsibility on your knees. Pray about it. Pray about it. Speak out against it. Act against it. Let your lifestyle show and speak out against it. Numbers chapter 25. The children of Israel were picking the Moabites as concubines. They were sleeping with them. And God was vexed. And God told Moses, do this and do this. And while they were still doing that in verse 7, the Bible said, a certain man again took another Midianite woman and took her into his tent. And the Bible said, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, stood up and took a peg and went straight there and pinned the woman there. That is how to be a light. Light take responsibility. He didn't say, I'm not Moses, the leader. He was like, once you don't like, confront evil around you. That is how to be a light. You want to be light of the world? Confront the evil. You're in an office, people are doing fraud. Speak out. Don't say, as long as I'm not part of them. No, you're not light. Light, speak out. Somebody say, speak out. Speak out. Tell them, this thing is wrong. Correct it now. If you don't correct it, I'll go and report to you. In fact, I'm writing your petition now. Say, hey, listen, light dares the darkness. Be daring. Light is not timid. It takes responsibility for the world. The reason I am here is to be the light. Show them what is right and what is wrong. People might not know what is right and what is wrong. Some people don't know. But by your light, they will know. People don't even know they are right from the left. They say there is light. Be that person that stands in your environment and people know that whatever you do is correct. What you don't do is wrong. That is how to be a light. Take responsibility. He said, by your good works, show forth your light. Number 2. Light is selfless, not selfish. Light doesn't light itself. Light others that don't have lights. Light is not selfish. So he's not doing things because of himself. It's not about him. If it's about him, he won't bother about others. But light bothers about others. So when you say be the light of the world, you just say you are the light of the world. Be interested in other people's affairs. Stop thinking about you yourself alone. Life is more than me, I, and myself. Life is more than you. Stop thinking about your daily needs alone. Life is more than you. There is more to this world. The reason why you are here is because of others, not because of you. If it's just because of you, the day you gave your life to Christ, they should have taken you off. You are not here because of yourself. You are here because of others. John 14:30. Jesus said, let's go there now. Let's go and die. He said, the prince of this world is coming. And I'm going to lay down my life. Not because he has anything in me, but it's my choice. So that it can be said, verse 1, I'm doing the will of my Father. What was the will of the Father? The Bible said, for God so loved the world. That's what the Father wanted. That he sent his only begotten Son. That he sent his Son to go and die. So Jesus was not dying because of his own sin. He said, there is nothing in me. There is nothing the devil can point to in me. The devil has to accuse. No, the devil is the accuser of the brethren. So the devil has nothing to point to in Jesus that this is wrong. He has nothing to point to. But yet he was going to die. Not because of his own sin. He was going to die because of us. That is selflessness. That's how to be the light. Joseph realized that he was in Egypt, not for himself. He was there because of his people. He was in Egypt not because of himself, but for his people. He lived for himself. No, he lived for the people. Stop living for yourself. Be selfless. That's how to be the light. If you think about yourself only, you will not notice the darkness around you. If you are so absorbed with the thought about yourself, you will not notice what is going on around you. If your prayer point is filled with personal prayer requests, you will not see the needs of others to pray about. Those who look at themselves cannot see others. Try it. Try it. Try to look at yourself. You won't see others. But the way to see others is to stop looking at yourself. Light is selfless. Joseph said, I was here because of you to preserve a nation ahead. Genesis chapter 50. I was here to preserve. So even when they thought I was going to do them evil, verse 20, he said, no, you meant it for evil. God meant it for good, that we might preserve a generation. And he didn't do them harm. He worked for their good. He could have put them aside. If you came for food, get food. You see, he told them, come and be living with me. Instead of traveling up and down, come and be living with me. He realized that he was not prime minister for himself. He was prime minister on behalf of his clan. Listen, light realized that every opportunity and platform God gives them is not for them. It's for their clan. They realize that the advantage God has given them is not because of them. It's for their clan. Who is your clan? You are the light of the world. Number 3, light is a game changer. A game changer. So when people are in darkness, people are sad. People are sorrowful. They have no hope. They are hopeless. They are helpless. They are discouraged. They are in despair. Luke chapter 7, from verse 11. He said, and Jesus entered the village of Nain, and a certain widow, her only son, died. And they put him in a coffin, and they were going out, and they were mourning. That is darkness. And Jesus, the light of the world, came. Verse 15. And he touched. And the boy came back to life. It changed the game. It was a game of sorrow. It changed it to a game of joy. That is light. When light enters a place, it changes the narrative. First Samuel chapter 17. For days, 39 days, Goliath kept coming to taunt the Israelites. He told them, present here a champion. I'm the champion of my people. Present your own champion. Instead of all of us fighting ourselves, just present your champion. Whoever wants the champion is the winner. And every day, the Israelites will come, they will run. They will come, they will run, they will come there. They were confused, hopeless, they were in hiding, discouraged. Then somebody came to show light. He came on the scene. His name was David. He stepped out. And he came on the scene. And he changed the narrative of the game. From that day, they were not running back again. They were not the one pursuing. That is what light does. Light changes the narrative of the game. Light brings solutions to where people are confused. To where people are discouraged. You bring life there. When people don't know what to do, you bring hope. That is light. He said, by your good works, what positive changes are you bringing to your world? That shows the light you carry. But you are in your world, people are confused, and you are there, and even you are confused. They remain confused. Your family is suffering under ancestral curse, and you are there, and nobody can solve it. No, you are not light. If you are the light, because you are not in that family, what do you say? The game is changing. So this trend in this family stops from now. Why? I am a game changer. Light changes the game. When they are playing ball, and the match is looking hopeless, then the game changes based on two things. Number one, either they bring in a new player, or they give a fresh instruction to those on the field. I'm going back to where we started. The instructions you receive is actually the lights. When you carry out those instructions, your word receives lights. So they bring in a new person. So when God wants to change a particular environment, a particular business or workplace, and want to change the narrative, He can bring you as their new staff. So you did not get that opportunity for yourself. So don't be selfish. You are not employed because you want to collect salary. You are brought in there to come and change the game. Come and change the narrative in that company. I'm grateful for your testimony. And I took time to listen to all the details. That's what light does. You enter a place, you bring a change. And people should be able to testify that, nobody has done this work like this before. Because there is a dimension you bring to it. You solve their problems. Naughty issues at your desk are solved. What others have not been able to solve before, you solve them. So you get a job, it's not about you. You got a transfer, it's not about you. You say, God, I need a change of environment. No, it's not a change of environment you needed. God needed you to go and change a game for people in that environment. You are looking for a house after all your sweat, you got a fine house in a very beautiful estate. You are not there to live an opulent life. You are there to change the narrative for some people on that street. You must see beyond yourself in every opportunity God gives you. He said, no one places the light under a bushel. He said, it is placed on a hill. So God positions you so that you can do your good works. Every position is for you to do your good works. Beg somebody, look beyond yourself. At times you're already in that environment. But how does light come? How does the game change? God gives you an instruction and you are the only one that heard it, others didn't hear it. By yourself, you can do nothing. It's by following. Let me round off Psalm 36 verse 9. He said, in your lights, we found lights. In your lights, we found lights. It is from your own lights you gain light. It is in your light. So what do you do from today if you are going to be light of the world? Carry out every instruction God gives you to the people around you. And I'll show you 3 simple ways. There are more than that, but I'll show you 3 simple ways to really test your good works. Number 1, what was that? I didn't hear you. Light take responsibility. He doesn't use his environment as an excuse. You are daring. You are not only different, you are daring. You do not only follow them to parties, you are confronting their party life. You do not only refuse from joining immorality, you confront immorality. Confront fraud. Confront them in your department, in your school. You confront it. That this is wrong. You take your stand and then you demonstrate it that it is wrong. And then you tell them, if you don't stop, I will report you. And you actually report. I don't want to cast them. Listen, light casts darkness. Number 2, light is not selfless. Light is not selfish, it's selfless. Thank you. Stop looking at yourself. See others. There are things light does not because of itself. You do it because of others. There are intercessions you make not because you need it, you make it on behalf of others. There are places you go not because of yourself but because of others. There are steps you take not because of yourself but because of others. That's how light behaves. And I'm stopping, or I've stopped rather, on light is a game changer.
We hope you've been greatly blessed. That which we have seen and heard, declare we unto you, that you also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ.
Contact and follow us on all our social media handles
at MIV Word House. Stay strong, vigorous, and victorious.